Okay, guys, as you heard, I'm from Denmark, and Denmark is actually closer to Ukraine than most people think. So, here in February, when the war started, I said, I get the hell out of here. So I went to Bali to find my life coach and my yoga teacher. And but actually, I think the decision to leave that fast was premature, because it doesn't look like Russia is doing that well. Did you know that the U.S. intelligence, they just intercepted the last radio transmission from the big warship that was hit by Ukrainian missiles? And the transmission from the radio operator sounded like this: "We're sinking, we're sinking." And then 1 minute later, headquarters answers, "What are you thinking about?" Well, that's a little inefficient military story. But actually, Denmark, we had our own occupation during Second World War. We were occupied by the Germans. They came after all our Jews. And actually, I am Jewish myself, so my dad told me that if anybody ever asks you, "Are you Jewish?" I should answer like this: not necessarily. Who's asking? Well, as you can see, I'm old, and maybe too old for stand-up, so I'll sit down. Well, I'm so old now that my kids, they actually started asking me, "Dad, do you want to be cremated or buried?" And I just said, "Well, why don't you surprise me?" Well, funny enough, I had the same dilemma with my aunt about her husband, my uncle. We were discussing, should uncle be cremated or buried? We went back and forth. We couldn't agree, so we ended up letting him live, you know. Well, the thing is that I started preparing my own death a long time ago. I made sure to make 6 kids, because in that way I would have one child for each handle on my coffin when they carry me out the church. Also because my 3 ex-wives are not going to be invited to the funeral. I don't want to give them the chance to let me down again. Well, actually I think eternity and death is going to be long. It's going to be really long, especially in the end, near the end. The thing is that my mother, she was dying not that long ago. My mother's name's Doris. She was a dentist. Her friends called her Doris the dentist. So I asked her, "Mom, do you want like a funny inscription on your tombstone?" And she said, "That's the last thing I want." And she was dead serious. So today, actually her tombstone reads, "Here lies Doris the dentist filling out her last hole." And that is a true story. Well, the thing is that when you get old, you start not caring too much about your haircuts. You can't really afford it. And what about the shave? Well, I'm not going to meet anybody today, so who cares? So you get to look like a little like a homeless. Well, the other day I went to McDonald's. I bought my cheap coffee. I go outside, sit on the bench with my paper cup. A nice, well-dressed woman walks by. and suddenly dropped a whole handful of small change in my coffee. So, okay, I looked like a homeless. So I got depressed, started walking home. On the way home, somebody, random guy, I don't know, walks up to me and he say, well, don't take this the wrong way, but could I ask you advice about Viagra? And I'm like, okay, great day. Now I know I look like a homeless and a walking ad for Viagra. Oh my God. Well, now I have a beautiful Indonesian girlfriend. Her name is Agustina. We have a few misunderstandings along the way due to her pronunciation and my very bad hearing. So the other day she actually made me pretty jealous. You know, she went on about how much she liked playing with her doctor. And I'm like, is that legal here? I mean, that sounds creepy. And she went on, I get so much pleasure playing with my doctor. And I'm like, okay, how old is that doctor? And she says 5. And then I realized she's talking about her daughter. Well, anyway, talking so much about death, I already found out what the song is gonna be at my funeral. The choir is gonna sing, "Don't Cry for Me, Agustina." Thank you guys, I'll be dying to come back.
Good job, Mikael. Good job. Give it up. Give it up. You did that for Agustina. Everyone feels sorry for you right now, but it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. You won't have to, you know, it's not going to last long. It's okay. You'll be happy soon. Now.